Hello everyone, and welcome back to part 2 of reading my wife's short stories out. I'm going to try to release them at least once a day. This is going to be chapter 2 of the story we read yesterday, which is the cat and the end of the world, so I hope y'all enjoy. Chapter 2. For a minute the world stopped. My legs buckled and I forced myself to remain standing. My breath hitched. Several minutes passed as I struggled to speak, to make a single sound, but when I opened my mouth, no sound would come out. I shook my head, my voice trembling. No, you're wrong. My father is Marshall Jacobs, just a worthless alcoholic. No, Morrow said. He's not your father. Your father lives on my planet. Your real parents adopted you once our soldiers saved you from the war that was going on back at home. These people are not your real parents, Massey. On Earth is not your real home. I stood there in complete shock. Was I really going to stand there and listen to a random cat explain my background? How was I supposed to know that he was telling the truth? You're lying, I whispered. Why would I lie, child? I was your protector, after all. Of course, I did not expect you to remember. It was so many years ago. But I took you to Earth because I knew you'd be safe here. At least you'd have a chance at a normal life. For a while, at least. But the universe had other plans, I suppose, Morrow said sadly. I wanted to faint. I wanted to throw up, to scream, but my body wouldn't move. I was paralyzed in shock. Suddenly Morrow stepped in front of me, his hackles raised. A deep hissing noise emanated from his throat, terrifying me. Morrow, what's going on? What's wrong? Before he could answer, heavy footsteps entered the alleyway. My heart pounded in my chest as fear came back, stronger than ever. They found us, Morrow hissed. Stay behind me. Two huge, bulking men in strange blue uniforms came down the alleyway, brandishing spears. They wore dark navy blue helmets, and their sky blue uniforms were laced with silver trim. One of them had a robotic arm. The other one had a long scar that stretched across his face. As I looked closer, I could see that the spears were electrified. The crack of electricity made the hairs of my body stand up. My legs began to shake. The spears pulsed relentlessly. Their metallic sharp ends pointed directly at me and Morrow. As much as I wanted to run, my feet wouldn't move. Morrow kept hissing, but it didn't faze the men in the slightest. Instead, they advanced. Ah, you mindless soldiers work for Lord Nictus, I presume? Morrow asked, not showing a tinge of fear. We do not work with Lord Nictus, the man with the robotic arm spat. We serve him willingly. We are here to help bring about the end of your world. And your little princess here. We are here to destroy her. Pfft, I'd like to see you try, Morrow sneered. My heart leaped at the word princess. What did they mean by that? Was there something else that Morrow wasn't telling me? Before I could think about it anymore, the men attacked. The man with the scar lunged at Morrow. My eyes widened in fear as I dodged, shrinking back into the alleyway. Morrow attacked with surprising speed. He was quicker than anything I'd seen before, and definitely quicker than any cat I'd ever seen. He moved with lightning speed and agility. His nimbleness was on another level. He dodged the attack effortlessly, jumping onto the brick wall, then used his claws to scratch the guard's face. The guard cried out in pain and dropped to the ground, writhing in pure, hot, white agony. Morrow looked back at me and smiled. My special attack, Poison Claws, works every time. He winked at me, but our victory was short-lived when the second guard attacked. This time, the guard aimed his electric spear at me. I narrowly missed it, feeling the metal scrape against my bare skin. I cried out, terrified, but Morrow attacked. He pounced onto the guard and began to claw his face relentlessly. Blood splattered all over Morrow, and even getting on my shirt as well. By the time Morrow was done with the attack, the guard's face was completely ripped to shreds. He was unrecognizable now. I had never seen something so horrific in my life. It was the stuff of nightmares. Suddenly the guard with the scar bellowed, his cry echoing throughout the alleyway. He was back on his feet, charging straight for us. Morrow tried to block the attack, but it was too late. The guard swung, electricity pulsating in the air. I could feel the spear graze my hair, watching in horror as some of it fell down to the ground. The smell of garbage was quickly replaced by the smell of burning, singed hair. Morrow hissed, louder this time. He jumped, grabbed the guard's weapon, and stabbed him in the chest with it. The guard cried out, dropping to the ground. Soon, he was laying in the pool of his own blood. He definitely wasn't getting back up this time. Run! We must get you to the safe house, Morrow yelled. He took off in a sprint, and instincts told me to follow him. We flew down the alleyway, my heart hammering against my chest, making it impossible for me to think. All I could think in that moment was, what the hell is going on? Alright, and that is chapter 2, part 2 of 15. Like I said, there's only 15 parts, and as you can see, they're pretty short chapters, so I'm just going to try to do as many of these as I can. I'm going to try to get the whole story out, and I'm going to try to do future stories that she writes, and one that she's written before. Because like I said, I feel like people need to hear them somehow. Not everyone's a big reader. Some people prefer things being read to them, and I know I'm not the best. Like I said in my last video, I'm extremely dyslexic, so please just bear with me. But yeah, I'll see y'all next time.